bonjour, mes amis. So I am finally here with my review on Emily en Paris. First, merci beaucoup. Prior to the show airing, I received so many messages, and I still do. I get at least 25 messages a day from mes amis wanting to know my opinion on Emily in Paris, on so many things in Paris, but more so lately, Emily in Paris. Merci beaucoup that you all consider me like the gateway or expert on all things American Girl on Petty. That makes me so happy. I'm going to try to keep this short, but we also know that I have the tendency to get sidetracked and to ramble on. So bear with me, mes amis. And to the new mes amis, you'll get to know me. First, I have been tagged. I feel like I said first already, but nonetheless, I have been tagged on several posts regarding Emily in Paris. I am not ignoring those. I don't want to read them. I did not want to read them until I posted my review. I didn't want to subconsciously be influenced by other people's opinions, but I saw titles because the caption was big. A lot of the captions that I saw was along the lines of, why is the American girl in Paris always white? Why is the American girl in Paris always skinny? Blah, blah, blah. The first thing I thought when I saw why is the American girl in Paris always white? My first thought was, why did you think she would be anything else? I'm about to get into it. Why did you expect anything else? This is not in any way to make excuses for writers, producers, in any of those. It's not to make any excuses, but we have to be very, very honest of what it means, or what it looks like to be an American. That's a white, heterosexual, land-owning male. Like, that's the ultimate American. And when you get into, like, what is it to be an American girl, you do not think of me. You think of typically a white girl, blonde hair, blue eyes. Even if she doesn't have the blonde hair and blue eyes, she is definitely a white girl. So with that, it's palatable for the American girl in Paris to be what the world considers, what a lot of Americans consider to be the all-American girl, a white girl. So when you get into like the palatability, I can't even speak right now. But when you get into that, it's just like the world of wine, the world of just anything. I'm a master's of wine student. I was supposed to sit for my level 2, but the pandemic, the pregnancy, I thought it would be in poor form to show up to classes pregnant, drinking. But anyway, you make things appealing to your audience. Is the world ready for an American girl anywhere to look like me? I think so. I'm sure a lot of my mes amis think so. But when you look at it on a grander scale, there is a very specific image of what an American girl should look like. Netflix, if you are ever ready for a Black American girl, African American girl, I say Black, a Black girl in Paris, I'm ready. Better yet, if you want to do a Haitian girl in Paris, c'est moi. So I'm moving along now that we have like the geopolitical things out the way. Let's get to the show. The show was horrible. The show was absolutely horrible. Yet I've watched it 6 times and counting, because it's queued now. Like, I'm still watching it. It is such a bad show that it's good. I utterly detest how much I hate that show. What I can say is that the show aired during a perfect time. We all need this escape. Whether you look at this show to mock it, to talk about how ridiculous it is, or whether you're watching this show because you're genuinely enamored, you need the escape. It does not matter where you are on the political spectrum, where you are. Just being alive today is trying, and we need all the escapes that we can get, and this certainly did it. I I am hoping, because let's get to the fashion. I am hoping that Patricia Field, who I absolutely adore, I'm hoping that it was her intentions to be this tacky. I'm hoping. Because it was ridiculous. The fashion was absolutely ridiculous. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or what, but it was awful. But I feel like it was strategically done. I say this because the show magnified every single stereotype on both sides, the American and the Parisian. Case in point, the fashion, the American girl, Emily, her fashion, it was so exaggerated that I feel like it was done on purpose. I hope so. Europeans, for the most part, have a very, very strong opinion about Americans. They think that Americans are, flashy. They think, just over the top, gaudy, wasteful, blah, blah, blah. She was all of those things to like the 100th power. So I'm hoping that that was part of it. On the other spectrum, the French. That the supervisor, her that je ne sais quoi was magnified to like the 100th power. Women in Paris don't dress like that. Better yet, women in Paris in the working place don't dress with slits up to their earlobes. Like one of the skirts, I could see like her rib cage. Like it was that high. So they even magnified the Parisians. They magnified like the ignorance of the American. They magnified the arrogance of the Parisians. Are there arrogant Parisians? We. Are there ignorant Americans? We. Are there ignorant Parisians? We. Are there, so it goes both ways. But I feel as though they magnified every stereotype that you have. It was magnified. And I mean, even with the women in the show, the women of color, like there were no Parisian women of color. And that's something else. Just the way that I said that when you think of an American girl, you think of a white woman. The same goes for Parisian. With so many Francophiles, so many women, when we think about that, that Parisian air, that je ne sais quoi, you don't think of a woman who looks like me. You think of a white woman, slender, with Chanel ballet flats, carrying a baguette, walking by the Eiffel Tower. Like that is your image of what it is to be Parisian. And this show gave us everything we wanted. I have other opinions. It's a lot. I have a lot. And it shouldn't even be that much because the show, it's so superficial. But I do have a lot of opinions. And I say that because I lived in the EU as a student, as a worker, just as a tourist. And they are all completely different entities. What it means to be a woman of color going to university in Europe is a whole entity. What it means to live in the EU as a woman of color, it's a lot. Like it's really, really deep. So with that, the show is an escape. Whether you are watching it to mock how ridiculous it is, or if you're taking notes, don't take notes, because that is not the show to take notes about with Paris. And I really got into it because I'm obsessive. And there was like one scene, I feel like they were at a cafe and I looked at the price list. I'm all about money. I looked at the price list and I'm like, €9 for a cappuccino. Don't ever spend that much on a cappuccino. That's a bottle of wine in the EU, truly. To this day, I keep like €1.50 in my wallet in the event that some kidnappers come and take me unwillingly and drop me off in Paris. I have €1.05 so that I could buy an espresso or a cappuccino when I land. And that's all you need. Don't ever spend €9 on anything but wine in the EU. So Voila, mes amis. If there are any other questions, if you want me to delve a little deeper, I have no qualms with doing so. I will, but I really wanted to keep this short, which I didn't do that great at. So I'm going to end it now. But yeah, let me know. What do you think? What do you think about my opinion of the show? What do you think about the show? Do you even want to watch the show? Do you even know what it is? I'm just assuming you do, but c'est la vie, mes amis. Ciao for now.